Hold up. Wait a minute.
This is Carla Renata, aka the Curvy Critic, and I shoot straight from the hip.
Yeah, you know I'm always shooting straight from the hip.
Let's take a trip around the curve. Hey everybody, how you doing? I forgot to click on stage. I'm here. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is going to be my last broadcast for 2025, but I will upload some interviews and things for you guys in the interim, some shorts and all that to keep you entertained until I come back on January 5th. If this is your first time joining me, give me a big thumbs up to let me know you are here. Click that bell for notifications if you were on the YouTube, and let's get this party started. Let me tell y'all something. I had a week. Can I just tell you? So Monday or Tuesday night, I forget which one it was. I was on my way to the Nickel Boys premiere when the car that I was in got hit by a drunk driver on the left side. And so I went on to the premiere thinking that I was fine because I didn't hit my head. I wasn't flying around the back of the seat or anything, and I thought I was fine. I come home, I have this excruciating headache to the point where I couldn't stand any sound or light. Went to the ER. They said I had severe whiplash. So I had been laying low all week long because I knew I had a Q&A to do yesterday. So I was laying low all week long to make sure that I was okay. But y'all be careful out there during the holiday season. People are crazy, and there are folk out there drunk driving because I got hit by one. So please, do your due diligence and be safe and sound out there, and make sure that you're keeping it, tight and right. I'm going to talk about Babygirl today. I'm going to talk about Mufasa the Lion King, as I said last time when I was here before. Mufasa the Lion King, and we're going to talk about that Christmas, the Brutalist, and I think that's going to be it for this week. And when I come back, I'll tell you about some things I'm going to talk about then. But let me tell you how my week went. So I'm on this show called The Invincible Fight Girl. It is an animated anime type of animated series, and it stars all of these people. So voicing, including myself, which is right here in the middle, are Sydney Michaela, who's in the upper left-hand corner, who used to be on General Hospital. To your top right is Keith David. Next to Sydney Michaela on your left, second from the left, is Rolanda Watts, the former talk show host, now fabulous voiceover artist and the voice of the Sherry Show, among other people. So if you guys get a chance to check out The Invincible Fight Girl, please check it out. We just aired our season finale for season 1, and hopefully we will get a season 2. I think I told y'all last week about me doing a Q&A with Laurent Bouzereau, who was the director of music by John Williams. And this is he and I after that Q&A. We had a good time. And then as I left as I left last week, I told you I was on my way out the door to do this Q&A. I did a Q&A with Jennifer Lopez, who's there in the middle in the blue jean outfit. Next to her is Judy Robles. Next to Judy, to the left, is Jarrell Jerome, who plays Anthony Robles, who's all the way over to the far left. And then next to Jennifer is the director. This was such a bucket list moment for me. I was so excited. So I got to moderate that discussion after Unstoppable. I also moderated a discussion with these lovely people for a film called Wesley Family Christmas. Check it out. Look it up. It is directed by my girl in the middle there. I love her so much. Anyway, check that out. A Wesley Family Christmas. It takes place in South Africa. It stars Jasmine Guy, among other people. Then my last Q&A for 2024 was centered around the fire inside with that lovely young lady in the picture, Miss Ryan Destiny. And we had a nice little discussion and popped a picture. I know I don't look like I was in no accident. I know I don't look like I was in an accident, but trust me when I tell you, my neck is killing me. But I got some nice drugs to kind of counteract it. And then I also told you that I had gone to a special event last week that I couldn't talk about. This was the event that I went to. My good girlfriend, Yvette Nicole Brown, got married to Anthony Davis last week. And I am so excited for her. So excited for her. That's her in the middle with the veil. And then afterwards, Entertainment Tonight talked to me and her good friend Octavia Spencer. Octavia, Yvette, and I have been friends for almost 20 years. And that's a picture that Yvette actually took, a screenshot that she took and sent to me. But I remiss. So again, you guys, make sure you check out The Invincible Fight Girl. If you have not seen Music by John Williams on Disney Plus, check that out. Unstoppable is in theaters and streaming. Wesley Family Christmas is streaming. A Fire Inside will be in theaters on Christmas Day, starring the lovely Ryan Destiny. And let's get into what we're going to talk to this week. Okay. So let's talk about a little Mufasa. So last week I played my interview with Aaron Pierre and Kelvin Harrison Jr., who play Mufasa and Scar, aka Taka, respectively. In this film, centered around the pre-story of Mufasa and Scar, it's directed by Barry Jenkins. So this is, let me come on camera so that y'all can see what I'm saying and not be just staring at a picture of some lions, because that's no fun. So this is the pre-story of Mufasa, the Lion King. As y'all know, I say it all the time, I was in The Lion King on stage in Los Angeles in the original Los Angeles production where I played Shenzi and was nominated for an NAACP award. Now, having got that out the way, The Lion King has only been directed on film by two white people. One was, I'm sorry, I forget who directed the first one, but I know the stage production was directed by Julie Taymor, and Jon Favreau directed the live action version in 2019. And this version is directed by Barry Jenkins. So there's something to be said for when you have people of color directing their own stories, it just hits a little different. Mufasa, like I said, is being played by Aaron Pierre. Scar, aka Taka, is being played by Kelvin Harrison Jr. Blue Ivy, Beyonce's daughter, is playing Kiara. Beyonce, of course, is Nala. Donald Glover, of course, is Simba. Tiffany Boone is playing Sarabi, and John Cano is doing the voice of Rafiki. In the original cartoon version, Rafiki's voice was done by Robert Guillaume, who's no longer with us. So John Cano, who is a native South African, has picked up that mantle beautifully and does a fabulous job with it. So this version of The Lion King deals with Simba. See, Freudian slip. Mufasa, who is lost and alone, and he's orphaned, and he meets this sympathetic lion named Taka, the heir to the royal bloodline. The chance meeting between these two lions sets in motion an expansive journey of an extraordinary group of misfits searching for their own destinies. This is what I loved about it. Like I said, I loved finding out the pre-story between Taka and Mufasa. We find out that Taka actually was Scar. Didn't know that before. I love seeing how Taka meets Sarabi and originally has a crush on Sarabi, and then how Sarabi and Mufasa end up getting together. Whereas in The Lion King, the main story of The Lion King, Sarabi is kind of like a footnote. So I loved having more of her story. I love seeing that Nala and Simba have a daughter. Her name is Kiara. And I have to say, Blue Ivy does a beautiful job voicing that character. I know people love to hate on other folks, but you know what? She's Beyonce's daughter. And that's fortunate and unfortunate for her. But I have to say, this young lady does a great, great job voicing the character of Kiara. And I love that Beyonce is giving her this freedom to jump into different lanes of the entertainment industry to figure out what she's good at, what she's not good at, what she likes, what she doesn't like. So kudos to Beyonce for letting her child have her life. I love that Lebo M, who did the music for all of the versions of The Lion King, is keeping that authentic South African musical sound laden throughout. Now, there have been some original music added to this one. Unlike in the animated version, there was original music added by Elton John. And I can't remember if there was original music added to the 2019 version or not. But in this version, there's been some additional music added by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who brought us Hamilton and In the Heights, among other things. And I think he did Coco too. Having said that, most of those songs are pretty unforgettable for me, except for one. And I can't even remember the name of it. But, you know, the songs in this version, they all kind of start to sound the same after a while. They all start musically, they all start the same, they all end the same. So they kind of, I don't really remember any of the songs except for one. And I think that's a song that I think it's a song that Sarabi sings. But that's what I have to say about the music. Yeah, Jon Favreau directed the live action version in 2019. I think I said that. And if I didn't, and I said something wrong, please, I corrected myself. Because you know how I can be. There's some beautifully touching moments within the process within the confines of this film. The second act drags a little bit, so I like the first part and I like the last part. The middle part kind of dragged a little bit for me. You know, maybe I was tired when I saw it, I don't know. But and I love that there were some digs at the a Broadway show from Timon and Pumbaa, who were respectively done by the same people who did them in the 2019 version, Billy Eichner. But what I will say is two things that I loved that were said in the course of Mufasa the Lion King. One is deceit is a tool of a great king. So anybody that is in a kingdom or in a situation where they have the ability or the right to rule over others, sometimes deceit gets them over. That is something that in the real world, we're experiencing that right now. I also love the fact that they said every being has a place in the circle of life. Every being, every animal, every race, every type of human being, every type of living thing has a place in the circle of life. And to me, I think that is the big message that you will get from Mufasa the Lion King. So it is in theaters right now. It started playing on December 20th, just in time for Christmas. So make sure you check it out. There is a film that is on Netflix called That Christmas. It's so cute. I really, really loved it. It's directed by Simon Otto, and it's what happens is a blizzard hits the seaside town, and it sets off an entwined tales of family, friends, love, and loneliness, and Santa making a huge mistake. Don't want to tell you what the mistake is. You need to watch it and check it out for yourself. But baby, the Christmas play has gone awry. There's songs from the Spice Girls. They address climate change. They dealing with reproductive rights. Baby, That Christmas is going all in. But what I will tell you is it is a wonderful film. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It's very emotional. I kind of got in the ugly cry at one point, but it is a very mature themed Christmas story. I would not recommend little kids watching this because the themes that are laden throughout are very mature. Like I said, reproductive rights and climate change. Those are things that are very mature themes. So that's what I would say about that. The Brutalist stars Adrien Brody. And Adrien Brody is known for this film that he won an Oscar for called The Piano, right? He's a fabulous actor. But in this film, he is escaping a post-war Europe, and he's portraying the visionary architect Laszlo Toth, who arrives in America to rebuild his life, his career, and his marriage on his own in a strange new country. Laszlo settles in Pennsylvania, where the wealthy and prominent industrialist Harrison Lee Van Buren recognizes his talent. What I will tell you about this film in particular is that I did not know who Laszlo Toth was. His history has been buried just like so many others that we hear about. But what I will tell you is that Felicity Jones, who plays his wife, does an excellent job with him. The two of them are crushing it in this film. And what is even more impressive about this film is Guy Pearce's performance in this film. He is, ooh, honey, he is doing some things. And it's just, the performances in this film are bar none some of the best I've seen this year. And I've seen a lot of movies. They're giving great performances. I love learning about Laszlo Toth. I love learning about how we see a lot of films about when people come to America, what their life is like. But this man never lost his humanity. He never lost who he was. He never tried to be somebody else. He leaned into who he was authentically every single second that he was inhabiting on this earth. And I kind of appreciated that. So if you have it's starting to be nominated for a lot of awards going into the award season. So if you have not seen The Brutalist, please do yourselves a favor and check it out. It's directed by Brady Corbett. It stars Adrien Brody, Felicity Jones, Guy Pearce, Vanessa Kirby, and Rafe Cassidy, among others. And I will tell you about that. Now let's get into I got through everything quick because I really wanted to get into this film right here. It's called Babygirl. Honey, Babygirl. It stars Nicole Kidman and this brother named Harrison, who's pictured there. Nicole and Harrison are going at it. I'm telling you, I was a mess watching this movie, but let me tell you why. So, Babygirl is directed by Helena Rain, and it stars Nicole Kidman, Harris Dickinson, and Antonio Banderas. So, Nicole plays this woman named Romy, and she's a high powered CEO, and she puts her career and family on the line when she begins a torrid affair with a much younger intern. Now, this film is deep because we oftentimes see these kind of stories from a male point of view, and we always see them directed from a male point of view. Helena is a woman, and she's directing it from a woman's point of view. She's directing it from a woman's point of view, and I was there for all of it. The film starts out with sounds of orgasms, panning down to a couple afterwards, and then we see Romy, played by Nicole, sneak off to a bathroom to pleasure herself while watching porn on a laptop. Now, I have to say, I was like, that's bold. Romy was bold for that. But this is the thing. She wasn't, and she went to pleasure herself in the bathroom because she wasn't being fulfilled by her partner, who's played by Antonio Banderas. And I'm watching the movie going, who ain't gonna be turned on by Antonio Banderas? I'm just saying, it's Antonio Banderas. How do you not get turned on by that, whether you in a movie or not? That's just me. I'm just saying, I'm a fan. I don't know what the problem was. But what I will tell you is that the soundtrack is very, very haunting, very, very intense. Watching Romy get in an elevator that's full of male CEOs, just the imagery of that speaks volumes, because there are very few female CEOs in the country, period, worldwide, period. And watching this woman take control of her sexuality and take control of her work situation all on her own without a male's, in her ear telling her what to do is very powerful. It was a powerful image for me to see. She also says, at one point, she says, if you want to get on in this life, there are things that you have to ignore. And I think she tells this to her assistant, who's played by this beautiful young little Black girl who basically blackmails her when she finds out that she's having an affair with this little young intern, who I have to say is played by Harris Dickinson, and he is relentless. He is relentless in the way he pursues her, and the manner in which he pursues her is very, very dogmatic. He makes her drink a glass of milk, which is the image that I have for this episode, which makes you go, oh, he's that dude. Okay, got it. The film is very compelling. It's a nail biter for sure. And the other lesson that I learned is you have to remember what you have to say to stay on the right side of people. So when you are in a business situation, you always have to be cognizant of what's flying out of your mouth, so that you don't get on the wrong side of people, because you getting on the wrong side of people in the corporate world can basically ruin your career or knock you down a notch, whether you are male or female. That's a very powerful lesson that's learned within the confines of this film. Him showing up at her house unannounced, baby, I was like this, trying to figure out what was going to happen. This is a film, though, that's about insane chemistry, insane charisma between the two leads, and a film about seduction in a way that I haven't seen since Fatal Attraction. Like in Fatal Attraction, we saw how Glenn Close's character controlled Michael Douglas's character in that film. And in this film, it's the complete opposite. The guy is kind of controlling the girl, but they have moments where it's kind of like tit for tat, where they're controlling each other. But I kind of dug it. It's a very sensual film. It's a very intense film. If it's the type of thing that makes you uncomfortable, I suggest you don't see it. But I was there for all of it because I just wanted to see how it was going to play out. I love that it begs the question of who we are as women. Are we a doormat? Or we a man's plaything? Or we sexually in charge? Are we business-wise in charge with our work? Who are we as women? And that is the big question that this film will give you. It ends with breathing the same way it starts with breathing. I was there for all of it. So kudos and snaps and claps to Helena Rain for that film. It is called Babygirl. If you get a chance to go to a theater to check out some Babygirl, I highly suggest you go check it out because it was good, good, good. So I wanted to hit y'all with my last 4 films of the year. And again, every time I come on here and I talk about films, the films that I talk about are always on my site, thecurvyfilmcritic.com. All of the interviews you can check out here on the YouTube channel. They're either in shorts, they're either by themselves, or they are laden within an episode. So I wanted to make sure that you're aware of that. When I come back on January 5th, because I will not be back until January 5th. When I come back on January 5th, we're going to get into some really crazy things, like, for example, I have an interview with Issa Rae and Keke Palmer, this film called One of Them Days. In this picture is pictured SZA, who's on the left, and Keke Palmer, who's on the right. I really love this film. I'll talk about it when I come back January 5th. The Golden Globes will be happening on January 5th, so we'll get into that in real time. And then the week after the Golden Globes is the Critics' Choice Awards, which I am a member and on the board for. Then we will also do a review of Better Man, starring Robbie Williams. And we will get into Hard Truths with Marianne Jean-Baptiste, who's getting all kinds of accolades for her role in that film. And I'm finally going to get into Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance of a Fowl. So I wanted to make sure that you guys had all of these things to look at and to think about while I was gone. Again, I'll just recap. Don't forget to watch Unstoppable, and I will have those interviews when I come back too, with Anthony Robles and Jarrell Jerome. I'll also have an interview with Marianne Jean-Baptiste, who I talked about, who is in Hard Truths, the movie that is coming out very soon. That's Marianne Jean-Baptiste there. And I will also have interviews with Keke Palmer and her co-producer, Issa Rae, about One of Them Things. Make sure, again, you check out Unstoppable. Make sure you check out The Fire Inside, which is hitting theaters on Christmas Day with the lovely Ryan Destiny. Make sure you check out A Wesley South African Christmas, which is streaming everywhere. And of course, make your way to a theater to check out Mufasa, the Lion King, that is out by Disney. And last but not least, Babygirl. Babygirl is something to check out. I promise you it is. So, having said all of that, I'm going to come back and say a few things before I sign off. I want to thank y'all for really boosting me up for this year, for supporting me this year. I've had more support and more wonderful things happen this year in 2024 than I have had my entire career. And it doesn't go unnoticed to those who support me. It doesn't go unnoticed to those who have helped me. And I appreciate it more than words can ever say. For those of you that watch this podcast, whether it's in real time or after the fact, man, I appreciate you. Y'all helped me get to over 13 million views with this bad boy. And I am slowly but surely approaching my 500th episode. So when I come back next year, January 5th, I will have the same theme song, but I'll have a new opening. I'll have a new closing. My background might look a little different. I'm not sure. I'm still debating that. And my logos and everything will be different. So, and I might even have a set. You never know. But yeah, that's it. And listen, I cannot thank y'all enough for supporting me and going in. So make sure you check out The Brutalist, Babygirl, Mufasa, That Christmas on Netflix, and The Fire Inside. All right. So until the next time, until next year, I'll see you in 2025. Love, peace, and hair grease, and deuces. Until next year. Bye.
Hold up. Wait a minute. I wish you love, peace, and